We are live now on YouTube.
Okay. So Hasiba, you can start.
Welcome to everyone attending this webinar. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar in the beautiful Himachal winter. My name is Hasiba Salihi and I am a student from Panjshir, Afghanistan, pursuing MBA final year at Shoolini University. Shelja.
And I am Shelza Thakur, also a final year MBA student at Shoolini, logging in today from my hometown, Mandi.
Here hosting today's webinar, I am very influenced by a line which I read recently, a quote which had a deep impact on me. It was by an American industrialist and business magnate and founder of the great Ford Motor Company. Henry Ford said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. And today we are presenting the Shoolini-Coursera partnership, a new chapter in learning and teaching for everyone at Shoolini University. A quick request for all. Before we get started, if you have any question during presentation, please type them in chat. We will address them at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, let's invite Dr. Ashu Khosla, Director of Learning Management at Shoolini University, to introduce the Shoolini-Coursera partnership to us. Dr. Ashu also taught us a course on creativity in the last semester. She is also the author of the book on creativity called Off the Corporate Bus into the Creativity Boat. And in her own words, she is big Coursera fan. Over to you, ma'am.
Um, Thank you so much, Hasiba. I am indeed a big Coursera fan, and hello and good afternoon to all those who are attending this webinar. My association with Coursera is almost as old as Coursera itself. I remember I enrolled for my first Coursera course in May 2012. And if I'm not mistaken, Coursera was actually launched in April 2012. So the course that I enrolled for was called Introduction to Logic. It was too difficult for me, I dropped out. But the first Coursera course that I completed after a couple of months was a course called A Networked Life, which was offered by a professor from UPenn. And it talked about how networks are formed and how they grow in the context of society, economies, technologies, etc. So it was a fascinating and a very exhilarating learning experience for me to be learning about a topic which was so new and in the comfort of my home at my own pace. Uh, Subsequently, over the next few years, I have taken several courses and sampled several courses on the Coursera platform, right from subjects like psychology to human physiology to Greco-Roman mythology, and even songwriting, which was a course offered by the Berklee School of Music. So, in the recent years, of course, I have taken courses which are of interest to the areas of focus that I've had in the past few years in my professional life, which include online teaching and learning and creativity and innovation. So in fact, last year I took a course on Coursera, which was offered by HEC Paris. And I have recently submitted a PhD proposal, which was inspired by something that I learned from it. So the bottom line is that Coursera as a platform, offers learning and inspiration, which does not stop when the course ends. It continues to be with you for a lifetime. And for me personally, also, it's a very happy occasion that we are here to launch this partnership today, because in a way, life has come full circle for me. Because around the time that I first got introduced to Coursera, I also started, doing some groundwork for establishing an online learning platform for our university, because the learning experience that I got with Coursera was one of the inspirations, because I wanted to bring this learning experience to our students and our teachers in our university. So our EUNIF platform, which is our online learning, was launched in 2013, but the groundwork for it began and the inspiration from it came from Coursera in 2012. So life has come a full circle. We are launching a partnership with Coursera today. And there's a saying that, when life comes full circle, you should pay close attention to what the universe is signaling, because usually at that moment, the universe is pointing you towards something great in life. So I believe that this partnership will be offering us, everyone at Shoolini, our students, our teachers, something great, something wonderful in terms of learning and teaching. And I hope and look forward to a very, very fruitful and productive partnership with Coursera. So thank you so much. And back to you, Hasiba and Shalja.
Thank you, ma'am. Hasiba, both of us and so many of our classmates took courses on the Coursera online platform last year. Thanks to the Coursera on Campus program, why don't you share how the experience was for you?
Start my speech by a famous adage which says, learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. As an international student from Afghanistan, I would like to express my gratitude to Shoolini University for such a wonderful learning opportunity and its own partnership with Coursera. My university's diligence and direction have inspired my inner confidence to race like a tiger toward the pinnacle of my academic ambitions. Besides having effective learning outcomes, I found these courses platform addictive and fabulous. The expertise and the teaching methodology are quite fantastic. The courses continuously provided me more and more with knowledge, creativity, and engagement. It brightened up my career path from a distance. I found the Coursera platform well planned and systematically structured, easy for me to follow. I could finish everything with enough time, learn about the topic, and not feel overloaded and rushed. All lectures, assignments, and tests were straightforward and direct. There was no confusion on assignments, which is always a great plus with online courses. And flexibility was another reason that worked well with busy scheduling of our usual MBA studies. I really enjoyed all the reading materials and found them to be diverse and inclusive. I learned a lot and benefited from Coursera. Thank you for facilitating such a positive learning environment. I aspire to continue. Shelja, you are muted.
Thank you, Hasiba. Now I would like to share my experience regarding Coursera online platform. A very good afternoon to Honorable Chancellor Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, and other distinguished speakers and participants. It's so good to connect with you all in a new norm. So, talking about my experience in online learning through Coursera, it was very informative and engaging. I really want to thank Shoolini University for providing us with this great opportunity during this COVID pandemic situation, where people are not getting their preferred jobs, where we being provided with great source of learning new things. I got to know new skills beside my regular curriculum, which are of my interest. I took 4 courses and got certification. They all are different from my regular curriculum, and I got a great sense of achievement and a new confidence from learning more. I found Coursera courses very informative and with a practical approach too, or I can say it is a career oriented approach. I want to be a master of my destiny, and it is only possible if I am educated and have good knowledge about the different areas and skills. For that, I'm really thankful to my university for giving me this opportunity.
Thanks, Shilja. It was very engaging. We also have a short video of some of more our classmates speaking about their experiences of learning on Coursera. Kamal sir, I would request you to share the video, please.
Hi everyone, I am Shashwat Sharma from MBA Coursera and I'll be sharing my experience around the Coursera courses. So, I've been known to Coursera since 2016, but as an undergrad student at that time, I was not fully inclined towards them. The difference came when I dropped a year after my UG program and joined master's program at Shoolini. My long-term goal has always been to excel at a leadership position in a MNC. So I ended up using Coursera as a way to get a head start. The interesting part is that at Shoolini, we have been offered free Coursera courses, and guess what? I did not lose that opportunity. In fact, I have already completed 2 of those courses and registered myself in 4 other courses. I personally feel that every student should go through these courses as a way to get a head start and to know beyond the course curriculum as well. And the best part is that you can do as many courses as you want of your choice and interest, irrespective of your background. As of now, Coursera is going to be part of teaching at Shoolini, and I am super excited to explore more and keep on learning. On the other hand, anybody seeking a greater learning experience will definitely be benefited from the same, either by adding weightage to your resumes or by getting a kickstart into the corporate. All the best, thank you, and have a great learning experience.
Hello everyone, I am Vaibhav Avasthi from MBA Final and I am here to share my experience regarding Coursera. I will wrap my experience in one word, amazing. Let me highlight a few reasons why I think so. It's real advanced education for free. Quizzes and assignments are well designed and challenging, which means they are not meaningless and not that everyone can get an A+. There is a wide variety of assignments, not just boarding MCQs. There are peer-based essays, auto-graded programming assignments, etc. And it varies from course to course, of course. Moreover, you can sample out courses and drop out at any time. Sometimes the courses would provide a different learning track for students with different level of experience on the topic too. No pressure at all. Moreover, the faculty emphasizes interaction with and among the online audience. And last but not the least, the courses are offered by the big boys in education sector, like Harvard, Stanford, etc. to name a few. The certificates are recognized worldwide. It can be safely said that the online courses complement and supplement the traditional education. Moving ahead with some of the courses that I took, I was pretty much clear with what I wanted to do. I am from engineering background, so I wanted my courses to be aligned with my business skills and engineering skills. Supply chain management, negotiation skills, advanced Excel, the business analytics using R, and artificial intelligence are some of the courses which I'm certified with. And yes, these courses are worth rupees 50,000 if done otherwise. But my university has been generous enough to provide me with free of cost certifications. What else would an aspiring student want? Moving ahead with the Shoolini-Coursera partnership, I believe it's a great step, especially in these times when multidisciplinary skills are preferred more over anything else. Students would be free to opt for any course or courses of their choice and domain. The fact that you can complete your curriculum as per your schedule makes it more convincing. I strongly believe that online course isn't an alternative at all, but rather a different path with its own rewards. The benefits that I foresee are speedier learning, more engaged and motivated thought process, tangible skill building, and better teaching quality. Overall, I'm super excited for this partnership and hoping for great endeavors with doubly blessed benefits. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Professor Atul Khosla, Vice Chancellor of Shoolini University, to speak about his vision of this partnership. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Shalja and Hasiba. What wonderful, it's been so inspiring to see both of you and the video. So thank you, Kamal and Kuldeep, for making it happen. And good morning, every student who's here. It's so wonderful to see all of you. Wish you all a very, very happy new year. I think it's the first time we are interacting. So first of all, why Coursera? Why sign up with something like Coursera? I think all of you have had some experience with some MOOCs, I think, whether it's Coursera or edX or probably Swayam. When COVID came, the world changed. And suddenly, all of us were online. All of us were deciphering the way to learn in a different way. Some of us complained, and some of us took advantage of the situation. We said that, look, we could actually learn new things in a different way, in a more effective way. And my role model is actually Kamal's son, our very dear Professor Dr. Kamal Kant. His son bowled a perfect googly to Kamal, and Kamal put a video on that. And I asked Kamal, how did your son learn googly? Now, the background is very simple. I used to love bowling, and I used to bowl leg breaks. and I was a very big cricket fan, but I could never learn how to bowl the googly because no one knew how to bowl the googly in Solon where I was growing up. And here was Kamal's son, 7 or 8 years old, who knew how to bowl a perfect googly, and he clean bowled Kamal in that particular video, all through learning through the web, all through learning through videos. And that's the power that you guys have today. You can learn anything you want. So, inspired by Kamal, I said, I want to learn how to bake a cake. So, what did I do? I went to the internet, and there's a platform called Masterclass, and I learned how to bake a cake. And guess what, Kamal? My cake was actually better than the chef's cake. Amazing, right? Because I just followed the instructions. And then I got a little more ambitious, and I said, I'm fond of cooking. I want to cook great pasta. So I then cooked some great aglio olio. It's a type of pasta, which incidentally I thought was amongst the best pasta that I'd ever eaten. And I was so inspired that I invited Poonam and Arvind over to home, and I cooked pasta for them. And I also baked a cake for them. I don't know whether I baked a cake or not. Poonam, I don't know whether that's true, but I definitely baked pasta for you. Then I cooked a few other dishes. And I really enjoyed that, I would say, journey. And then Ashu called me and said, why are you wasting your time just cooking? Why don't you go on to some edX or Coursera classes which were happening? So I did a course from Harvard on speaking, and it was mind blowing. It changed my world. And I suddenly realized that you people are so lucky, and people like me and Dr. Khosla and Kamal and Roger and Ashu are so unlucky because we grew up in a world where we had to limit ourselves to our professors, or read a few books here and there, or run after people to get some videos of new things to learn. And you have learning at your tip, at your fingertip. And you can learn anything you want from the web. And Coursera is the leader in that. So I picked up the phone and I called up Raghav, who's an old friend and heads Coursera for Asia Pacific. And I said, hey, let's do a partnership. And he put Karun with us. And Karun has been so kind to conceptualize this partnership. And I'm so excited today because we are one of the very few universities in India who has partnered with Coursera. And as subscribers to this, you guys as students, and we are doing the first pilot with MBA, you can get access to any course. And there are thousands of them. So you can, of course, learn more about MBA, finance, marketing, big data, digital marketing, name it. You can truly become an expert. But you can also do something beyond that. You can learn to cook. You can learn to paint. You can become an artist. You can do whatever you want. And I think that's the type of knowledge and that's the type of education we would like to give to our students. And that's my dream, that all of you become world beaters. All of you become not just successful in that small little MNC company that you dream of, but you become, the future Elon Musk of the world. You become the Jeff Bezos of the world. And I know all of these 200 odd students today that are there in this webinar, Kamal, there are probably 20 unicorns sitting. You're going to make us proud and your parents proud and the nation proud. And the starting point is going to be learning. And what better way to learn than from the best in the world? And that's Coursera. Students, it's not cheap. We are having a commercial relationship with Coursera. We are paying for it. It's very expensive. So please make the best use of it. For you, of course, it's free. We're not charging anything. But I think the university, and I thank Dr. Khosla and Vishal Anand for their generosity to make sure that you students can learn. And they signed a very, very fat check of over 1 crore of rupees to make sure that you guys can learn. So thanks to you, Dr. Khosla, thanks to you, Vishal, if you're there on this particular webinar. And once again, thank you, Coursera. I'd also thank Ashu and Kamal and others for their passion to drive this. And of course, your director, Dr. Roger. We all are very, very excited. And I think we can change the way the world learns. We change the way how we become successful. Using Coursera today, you are not inferior to any student anywhere in the world. You can learn from courses at Columbia University, Stern, wherever, the best in the world. And of course, your teachers are there to help you. We've got some wonderful teachers, and I think the Coursera team is also there to help us. So guys, enjoy, learn finance, learn marketing, and some of you should also learn how to cook. There's some phenomenal courses on baking and cooking also on Coursera. So wish you all good luck, and I'm so excited today. Over to you, Kamal, Hasiba, Shelja, whoever is comparing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me also now request Dr. Kuldeep Roche, Program Director MBA, to share how he and his team have been working behind the scenes with the Coursera team to bring this learning experience to all of us. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Shelja. What a wonderful day. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries and to everyone attending this webinar today. It's indeed a very important day as two experts in the field are coming together, Coursera and Shoolini, and this is a great collaboration. Well, what we see today is just the beginning of a big future ahead. Although, to begin with, only MBA and PhD programs are in focus as of now, but I'm sure as we move ahead, this is going to cover entire faculties and all the disciplines across board in Shoolini University. The journey so far has been tremendous, and today's outcome is based on series of discussions and meetings. And apart from the experts from both the organizations, the top brass, as you just heard Dr. Khosla, they were involved in this collaboration. The target was quite clear: to provide the best online education and cutting-edge curriculum to our students and faculty at Shoolini University. In this series of meetings, where we from Shoolini shared a curriculum, the knowledge, skills, and ability expectations to Coursera team, we are happy to share that this Coursera team took it to the next level. They've guided us about what other leading institutions in the world are teaching, what are the futuristic industry requirements, and they also opened a big world of customized learning experience to our students and faculty. The deliberation debates wherein we have sent our expectations, the curation happened from their side, and a lot of deliberation debates and what are the other options that were seen. Ultimately, this has resulted into 6 main outcomes in this first phase of implementation. The first one, the doctoral students will be able to complete their coursework online and study courses from leading universities of the world. Second, the MBA first year students who are just beginning their program, they'll be able to leverage the opportunity by studying some of the new fundamental courses which were not offered so far. MBA final year students who will be soon joining the organizations, they'll get a deeper understanding of contemporary courses in the field of their specialization. And that means they'll be better equipped. The students as well as faculty will also have a choice to add on skill-based courses, as Professor Atul shared, and this will help in the overall development. And the students and faculty will also be able to move beyond the curriculum and take courses in the field of their interest, ranging from in case you want to learn piano or in case you want to get insights into psychology. And finally, the sixth one, the learners will also get additional certificates apart from these courses being credited and mentioned in their certificates. There are additional certificates going to come from Coursera. As a member of Team Shoolini, which is highly ambitious and always aspires to give its best to its students and faculty, I'm sure this collaboration will provide multiple benefits to all our stakeholders. I thank you, Professor Atul, for conceiving this thought and showing us the new world. And thank you, Dr. Ashu from Shoolini and Priyanka from Coursera for leading this effort. Thank you, Karan, Saurabh, Akanksha, Dr. Kamal, Professor Verma, for all the hard work. And what we see today is actually a result of all your intellect and the collaboration and the cooperation throughout. Thank you so much. I see a good future ahead. Back to you, Shelly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for always inspiring us. Now I would like to invite the most respected, honorable Chancellor and founder of Shoolini University, Dr. P.K. Khosla, to say a few words, then officially inaugurate this initiative. Over to you, sir.
So dear students, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Kuldeep, representative from Coursera, dear students, after listening to the comments of the students and the observations of Atul and Kuldeep, I don't think I have to add much. I'm very supportive of any innovation which is important in uplifting the career opportunity of the students. When this issue came brought to me, should we or shouldn't we, because huge amount is involved, I said, for a test, let us try from university resources in future Once you have given the taste to the students, the message will go that the Coursera is a very important and useful tool in improving and the learning capabilities of the students. So this is a new wave, and each and every student must take advantage of this, because this can make a sea change in your career. There's a job and opportunities, and also as a human being, there are many things which you can learn and which you can decipher, and you can make a mark in life. With these few observations, I am very happy to inaugurate Coursera Shoolini partnership program. God bless us, God bless our students, and also we we make a mark as a university which is committed to the uh, career development of the student. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I will declare this function open. Inauguration open.
So much, sir. Now we invite and welcome the Coursera team to introduce us to the Coursera. Mrs. Priyanka Kumar, the Customer Success Manager, will first introduce us to the team and then take us through as a small presentation. Over to you, Priyanka ma'am.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm extremely impressed by all the students who are here who presented and learned on Coursera. I mean, I honestly have very little to say. Everyone has talked so much about Coursera. I think you all probably by now know already what Coursera is and what Coursera does and what it can offer you all. But let me just take very quickly a little bit of time to introduce myself and my colleagues here. So I'm Priyanka Kumar. I manage customer success for Coursera. What I mean by that is that I work very closely with your faculties, your leadership, and ensure that whatever learning goals the university and you students you have set up for yourself, you're able to achieve those goals over a period of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever journeys you have with Coursera and Shoolini University. I have with myself my colleagues Saurabh, Karun and Akansha. I will very quickly request them to do a 30-second introduction for each of them.
Sure. Thanks, Priyanka. I can go. Then I'll pass it on to Akansha. So I work as a skills transformation consultant. Along with Priyanka, I work with the academic team and the leadership team to understand your program level outcomes, course level outcomes, and then make recommendations from the vast catalog of Coursera. So that's me. Back. Akansha, over to you, please.
Thanks, Saurabh. Hi, everyone. I'm Akansha. I'm an implementation manager with Coursera. So I handle everything technical on the platform. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Karun. The only thing which I'll mention in addition to what everybody has said is that to the students that you have an amazing leadership team. I've interacted with starting with Atul sir, Ashu ma'am, Professor Khosla and Dr. Kamal. The team is really invested in your success, and I'm really looking forward to 20 unicorns from these 200 attendees, somewhere in the next couple of years. Thank you and all the very best.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, my Coursera colleagues, for the introduction. And let us now, give it a try and introduce Coursera once again for all of you from a Coursera point of view and lens, and why this partnership, is so important. While everyone, like from Atul to Ashu, everyone has emphasized why it's extremely important for all of them, and as well as for the students. But let's go ahead and let's watch. I have 2 videos to show you. Let's just play that.
What makes us human? Sometimes it feels like we've forgotten. Maybe we can learn again from someone who's been learning from us. Welcome, Benedict. Learn to recognize each other. Hello, MG. Turn on AC. Turning on AC. Learn to listen and respond to each other. Hello, MG. Play my favorite music. Playing your favorite music. Learning to learn about each other. Say hello to the family, Hector. Open sunroof. Very obliging. Thanks, Hector. That was fun. It's a human thing.
Okay, now we have one more to show you. Great. I hope the audio visual was fine for all the students. Now I have a question for all of you, and I think, Kamal, if you can trigger a poll question right now for all the attendees. How will the jobs change in the near future? And there are some options which you have. You can select as many options as you feel they are fit for your answer. Please go ahead. We will give 30 more seconds for the answers to come, and then we will close the poll. Great. Can we see some results here on the screen?
Yes, so still people are polling in. So it's like 60% have polled. So okay. I'll just end the polling. So I think it's stable now. So
okay,
it's around 65%. So I'll just end the polling.
Sure.
And I'll share the results.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant. I think most of you know the answer already. So great. Let's continue from here, and let's see, let's see how your answers are kind of related, and they're actually absolutely right. Let's go ahead. So let me talk about this, right? So industry has changed a lot over the last, I would say, like decade, right? So when we were in 1784, we were more on the mechanical side, right? We were talking about mechanization and steam engines and water power, how to create hydropower and so on, right? It wasn't at that level. The skill set required was completely different, right? Then came mass production, electricity. The skill set required for that were different. Today, we are talking about Industry 4.0, and I hope some of you students, since you are MBA students, you might have heard the Industry 4.0 word a lot lately around you. And Industry 4.0 is basically the industry with cyber physical systems, where systems talk to each other. Today, you have MG Hector with the AI system who's able to read what's your favorite music, who's able to oblige your commands, right? We have in any industry today, there is IoT, right? Internet of Things, like every device talks to each other. You have smart homes, you have like so many things present right now. And all of it is because there is Industry 4.0. And not only this, we are in this era where we have, since last year, as you all know, we have COVID as well, right? So because there was a great lockdown, it did accelerate digitization for all of us, right? We didn't know that we will all have to shift gears and move to online and virtual learning as soon as in just 1 year time. I don't think many of us got even 1 year. We just got like a few months. And the university, the companies, everyone were forced to move online, to move virtual and figure out a way to work virtually, right? There's more cybersecurity that's involved. There's more privacy interest that's involved now, because you need to ensure that you're working online, you're having confidential meetings online, you're able to all pull them in together and make sure there's privacy and the confidentiality of the company remains within the four walls, or within the virtual system that they have created, right? There is cloud, which is extremely important. There's software development, extremely important. So there are approximately 149 million new jobs which are going to be there by 2025. And this is all thanks to great lockdown. And these jobs will be in the digital capacity, right? And on the right side, if you see, these are the different areas like data analysis, cybersecurity, privacy, trust, machine learning, AI, cloud, data roles, software development, and so on. Moving forward, I would like to quote these numbers to you, and I think I really encourage students to look at it very, very seriously. 42% of jobs are expected to have entirely different skill set by 2022. We're just talking about 1 year down the line. And these are some reports we have, these are some data points we have taken from World Economic Forum, Jobs of the Future report, as well as Deloitte and some International Labour Organization reports. And there is a high propensity that all the skill sets that are required are going to change, like at least 40% of them are going to change. I think you all probably know by now, you might have read the newspaper, a lot of people have lost their jobs because a lot of companies have shut down due to the COVID-19 risk. What's happening right now, and 300 million people are actually at the risk of losing their jobs, or would have already lost their jobs by next year, right? And there's a McKinsey report also, I want to quote, very recent report that did say that or approximately less than 40 to 50% of employers think that the students or the employees that they are currently coming in and joining them, they have the relevant skill set. So which means that approximately 60% of them think that the jobs they have and the kind of talent they're getting from the market, either from the universities or even from the lateral hiring, it's not matching. There's a huge gap, and the industries are spending millions and millions of dollars on training those people, but it wouldn't happen going forward, right? Now, if you imagine the situation is even graver, right? The skill sets are changing very quickly. The shelf life of a skill, if you talk about technology skills, the shelf life is as low as 2 years or 3 years. If you talk about other skills, it's probably 5 years or more, right? But it's not more than that. So you need to continuously keep developing yourself, keep reskilling yourself to ensure you are out there in the market and you're competitive and you're out there relevant for the jobs that are available currently, right? So with that, I would like to introduce a bit about Coursera. Why Coursera will be helpful? Let me just start with a quick introduction. So Coursera, as Ashu rightly said, is like a lifelong learning ecosystem. It's a platform which we are trying to create to ensure that learning doesn't stop for you once you pass out or graduate from your college. Like learning can't stop. It should not be stopping, because the world right now needs continuous learning. And even otherwise, like learning, if learning stops, I don't know what people will look up to, right? So at least I personally believe learning has a lot of value for me, and I keep on learning either on Coursera or otherwise. Any new skills I find in my colleagues, that's also a learning for me. So coming back to Coursera, so we have a platform where we have 73 million registered learners as of, I would say this is probably December 2020 data. October 8, 2020 data. 73 million plus registered learners. We have partners, which are educators who are providing content on our platform, who are university partners and industry partners. So we do have content from top universities. For example, Ashu was taking a course from HEC Paris, and we do have NYU Stern, and we do have like other kind of universities available on our platform. And then at the same time, we have content from Google, we have content from Amazon, we have content from IBM, which are like the top-notch content coming directly from the industry for the jobs they think are relevant in their industry, in their companies, as well as other companies falling under the same industry, right? And at the same time, so these are the educators who are providing you the content, right? It's coming right from the best folks in the market. And then We have institutions who are currently taking our courses. It includes businesses. As I said, a lot of businesses around the globe are also taking Coursera and train their employees, right? They're investing millions of money to ensure that the employees are relevant for the jobs, for the current roles that they are going to work on, right? So we have around 2,500 Coursera for Business partners. We have Coursera for Government. There are a lot of governments who are investing in Coursera and taking courses from Coursera for either their employees or citizens. And then we have Coursera for Campus, with which we have Shoolini as as part of it, and we are pretty honored to have this relationship going live because this, to me, Coursera for Campus is very, very dear, and I truly believe that if we start investing early on in our learning and skill development, if all of us, like students themselves, take the ownership of making sure that they are having the skill sets which are required for the job, because it's your life, it's your it has to be your effort. While Shoolini is a great university, and I have to agree with Karun that you have a great leadership team. They're so dedicated and so devoted to making sure that your learning happens, and some of you come out as amazing unicorns from this group. But I do want to emphasize that your learning is your responsibility, and make sure you use it as much as possible. And they are very, very, very kind to give you, to pay for your subscriptions, and they are very kind to give it, not charge any student anything for the Coursera program. And so I think this is an amazing opportunity you all have in front of you. Very quickly, I just want to show you, these are the organizations across the globe who are taking Coursera, who are choosing Coursera for either digital transformation or Industry 4.0 preparedness, or IT, cloud, leadership, workforce development, all of them, whether it's PayPal, Tesco, Samsung, Siemens, Mindtree, all of them are amazing, amazing names, and they're all working with us. They're all trying to build the workforce, the future-ready workforce, and invest in their employees. So with this, I think we have a lot of data coming in, which tells us that this is what the industry feels relevant, right? If tomorrow, you aspire to work with Samsung, we know what kind of courses, what kind of skill sets Samsung needs, right? What are they thinking about? And those are the some values which we get into our campus partnership. We tell, we show some pathways. We work with your faculties and your leadership to ensure what you are learning is relevant for the market. Right, and at the same time, we have amazing university names associated with us. We have HEC Paris, we have ISB, we have UC Davis, we have Michigan University, Duke University, and so on. All of them are renowned names, and whatever they teach, right, it's coming from the best-in-class faculty. I want to highlight Andrew, who's also the co-founder of Coursera. He used to be the chief scientist of Baidu. He's the founder of deeplearning.ai. Martin Odersky, he's actually the founder of Scala. So imagine doing a course on Scala and getting it from the founder himself, right? The course is like being taught by the founder himself. So it's an amazing experience. It's an out-of-the-world experience, I have to tell you. And then we have Ban Ki-moon, who is a former UN secretary, and he's teaching, on Coursera. So we have a lot of such people, amazing people like Laurie Santos. I want to highlight. There's a course by Laurie which says the science of well-being. And I have to tell you that during the lockdown, during the COVID time, her course was one of the biggest raters course, like a lot of enrollments, like I think around 700,000, 7 lakh enrollments kind of came for her course alone on Coursera platform, purely because I think everyone sitting at home during the tough times of last year in COVID and lockdown, they're figuring out how to stay healthy, how to stay on top of things. So Science of Wellbeing actually was a very, very highly rated course on Coursera. So with that, I think we have amazing faculty for you guys to look up to. And we have transformational content across departments. So we have around 4,500 plus courses across 11 domains. And the domains here include data science, computer science, business. We have math and logic, life sciences, humanities, social sciences, and so on. There's also personal development. And I personally enjoy not only doing courses on technical, but I also enjoy doing courses on personal development because it gives me a lot of satisfaction. And there are some amazing courses which which are there on personal development. Apart from these, we also have some projects, which are hands-on projects, which allow you to, to practice what you're learning, and specifically for computer and data science kind of, courses where you learn a skill and you want to practice that skill and see whether you have learned it fine or not, right? So we do offer a lot of projects, around 800 plus projects, which are also part of this partnership. With that, I think I would like to introduce my colleague Saurabh, who kind of leads the skills transformation for us, and he would like to talk a little bit more about the content and how it will be relevant for you, and he'll also talk about some journeys and some pathways for our students. So Saurabh, I heartily welcome you to take forward from here.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. And glad that you actually introduced the breadth and depth of the content. But now that we are looking at making each of the student at Shoolini University successful, how do we do that? So obviously, given that there are a lot of learners who are learning on Coursera, and many of those learners come from the world of work. They're already working, they're employed. So how do we leverage that data and, can share some, now that, we are in a hand and glove relationship, and we are all Shoolini University and Coursera is responsible for your professional success, your learning pathways. So we leverage that data. Priyanka, you can move to the next slide, please. So we leverage that data and we look at that, what are people learning in different roles across different industries and different organizations. So this is something, probably I'll give you a few seconds to just, glance over the slide and, digest it. But essentially what we're trying to do is, broadly on the left-hand side, you can see that if as an MBA student, you are going to be in an organization, what are the various skill sets I need? Obviously, you certainly need the business skills. Would you need some tech skills? We'll speak about a little bit on that. You saw the examples of MG Hector, you saw the advertisement of Nike, even though they're trying to sell, but how actually technology is playing an important role in the entire customer journey, in the entire organization's journey. So certainly tech skills, what those tech skills mean by industry, obviously we will be happy to walk you through that, not necessarily in today's conversation, but this is just an example, indicative list for you to go through. And then obviously data skills. Now I am using a lot of data to tell you that, these are the skills which people are using. And given that we are living in a digitized world, there is plenty of data for organizations to leverage and make decisions based on that data. So broadly coming back to this slide, if you look at the left-hand side of the slide, which is business tech and data skills. Now, what I'm trying to say is that if you are an MBA student and you are interested in actually working as a project manager in the engineering function, then this is the first column you should be looking at. These are the skills you need to have, from if you want your function as well as you as an individual to be successful. However, if your role comes out to be more in the finance function, you are, majoring in finance and you're looking for your career role in finance going forward, then you can look at the column which is titled as finance and say that, great, I need these skills to be successful as a person who is developing in career in finance from a business perspective. However, these are not just only required skills. I certainly need tech skills and data skills, and these are some of the indicative skills if I want my career to be successful in finance. And similarly, you have some examples from marketing as just a people manager role or a data scientist role. So this, what we call it as an essential skills map. So these resources obviously will be shared with Shoolini University. Whatever we keep learning from our platform, Coursera platform, we will be passing on all that information with your academic leadership, your career services, and then you will in a sense will have access to this data and say that, oh, okay, so I know that Coursera has 4,500 courses, but this is my focus area, and you can come to ESM, or you can have a conversation with your career services or your professors or anybody, and then determine that, okay, so this is what ESM suggests. I think I'm going to do these and create a learning journey based on that. So Priyanka, if you can move forward, we can actually show some learning journeys with some examples. By the way, before we get into the learning journeys, let's speak about one portion which you might have noticed that was not on the last slide, which was you can call it as career skills. Some people used to call it as 21st century skills. Some people might choose to call them as foundational skills. Now a lot of research has gone. What are foundational skills, irrespective? So in my mind, when I'm speaking to you about foundational skills, my mind tells me that these are the skills all of us need, irrespective of our job, irrespective of our function, irrespective of geography or industry. These are basic foundational skills we all should possess, which broadly categorizing and obviously Atul has pushed us, nudged us to make this slide very specific for Shoolini students, because he's so passionate. He wanted that, Saurabh, I understand that, there are certainly human skills, there are personal development skills, but, when student graduates from Shoolini University, I want them to be great at, design thinking. I want them to have a customer-centric approach always, whether you are making products or services. I certainly want them to be ahead of the curve. So innovation was another, foundational skill he was very particular about adding from a Shoolini catalog perspective. So, foundational skills, whatever function, whatever role you are doing, you should try to build your arsenal with these skills for sure. Design thinking, innovation, collaboration, problem solving, communicating, critical thinking, and obviously take charge of your own development. Now, let's see how we can bring all these business, tech, digital, and career skills together and make a learning journey in addition to what you're already learning at Shoolini University. So, Priyanka, we can take a few examples, and we did take some examples just to give you a picture that, which brings a little bit of industry focus as well as the skills focus, because you could come back and say that, what, Saurabh, or you can go to, Dr. Khosla and say that, sir, I certainly want my career journey in, let's say, XYZ industry, and this is the role I'm looking at. How can I build a journey on Coursera? So these are next 3 slides are indicative examples, and I would encourage all of you to actually, when you go back after this session, obviously explore Coursera as a platform, but then determine that this is the kind of role and this is the industry which I'm interested in, and then create a learning path for yourself and then obviously follow. The most important thing is you follow that path. So if somebody wants to be, let's say, data-driven social media marketer, and there is data-driven, not just social media marketer, there is a difference. Social media marketer, you can do a social media professional certificate from Facebook, and then, you can start actually offering your services to a company or as agency or as a consultant. But then in this case, you want it to be data-driven. You just don't want to run campaigns. You want to be very specific what you suggest to your organization or your clients that, this is the data we have received, and this is what the data is telling us as a story, and this is how our campaigns should essentially look like. So if you want to be in that kind of a domain, this is an indicative learning journey based on the courses available today. I'm sure the catalog is growing. There will be more courses, and you might find courses more relevant to you going forward. But start a journey. This is an indicative journey. Priyanka, we can move forward and we can quickly discuss. If you want to be a data analyst, you are really a data person, but you are getting a job in retail business. So absolutely, what do you need? You need knowledge about retail industry, how fashion industry, retail industry actually works. So obviously there is a course from University of Bocconi, Management of Fashion and Luxury Companies. Then there is a great content from IBM, Duke, Michigan, Colorado, to learn from how do you actually do data analytics. That's from Duke and IBM on this slide. But obviously, that's not the only aspect you will learn to be successful in the company. As we all know that you don't have to be the domain expert to be successful. You need to have those multidisciplinary and career skills. So how do you tell a story from data? That's one, but that's not, you will realize over a period of time as an MBA graduate, you will be expected to help make decisions. So obviously, how do you go about making effective decisions is a great course from University of Michigan, which I have, added to this learning journey. And then your decision should not only come across that, you're trying to be imposing. So how do you actually work in a team environment so that, people buy into those decisions and they don't feel pushed around? So that's another skill you might want to pick up, because you don't want to be seen that, this person only understands how to run these reports. That's why he's, trying, or she's trying to be the person taking in charge of decision. But it's the inclusivity which also matters a lot if you want to run longer career success in your journey. And thirdly, we can speak about, if you are very interested in starting your own business, probably, or you join a business where they assign you a project that we want to automate most part of our customer services. So how AI is playing a role in customer service, and some of the the courses I have recommended from IBM, they don't need necessarily a background in coding, keeping in mind that you are MBA students. So you can actually start building AI powered chatbots. This is a course by IBM without coding. So there is a lot of UI you can use. How do you actually leverage Google depending on which cloud or which platform the company works on. So obviously these are just indicative two examples, but you have similar content from AWS, you have similar content from Alibaba, depending on which provider your company or you as a entrepreneur are leveraging. And then because it is customer service, so you just don't want to learn only about AI, how AI can help in customer service, but how the interface should be. So that's why UX design from concept to prototype becomes very important, so that you put it beautifully also. It's not just important that there is a processor in your phone, but also important that how your interface is. And then obviously how a little bit more content on design thinking, that how you can actually have a strategy which is customer focused. So Priyanka, that's me. Back to you, please.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. I hope it was helpful for students. And I think you did get an idea that the new jobs, the kind of jobs that are present today and will be present in the future, they wouldn't be solved or they wouldn't be done only by taking some core courses. Like long gone are the days when only doing, an engineer would only study engineering and get a job. Like today, if you're an engineer and if you want to get into data science, I think you have to put in some effort. And then if you want to lead or manage a team of data science, there's a different kind of effort that you are required to put in from that perspective. And in every job today, you need some multidisciplinary courses. You need some skills which are not really core skills, but also some human skills, some leadership skills, as well as some skills which will help you move on in the journey and understand leadership much, much better, right? So with that, I think I do have one learner story which I want to show you and then end my monologue with. Here you go.
When I was growing up, I never had opportunity to complete my formal education. My mother died when I was 4, and my father was an alcoholic. And as a result, I had to live with my uncle. My relationship with my uncle was horrible. He would always say to me that I would not amount to anything. He kicked me out of the house. I had no clue how I'm going to survive going forward. I always thought that one day I'm going to start a company of my own. So I started this company and it did very well. For the first time in my life, I actually felt good about who I was. And I have finally proved my uncle wrong, that I'm worth something. Coursera gave me the college experience which I never had. It did not judge me before I signed up for a course. I wanted to give this opportunity to my team. I didn't want them to take education for granted. Learning doesn't need to stop. You can continue to learn, continue to see things from different perspectives.
Great. With that,
when I was growing up, I never had opportunity.
Sorry, my bad. I had to go on the next slide. Okay. With that, I think I would like to wish you all happy learning. Go ahead, learn something, explore something new. And trust me, learning has no boundaries. Like as you have seen Vivek's case also, he never attended a college and still he was able to become an entrepreneur and start his own journey, his own learning path via Coursera. So never think that you're restricted in one stream or, on just some situation, just because you are put in that situation. You can take control of your learning. Your learning is your responsibility. I keep on repeating that. But I hope this presentation helped you all understand how Coursera can help you and your colleagues, your peers to make a learning pathway relevant for the future. Yeah, that's it. With that, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Ashu. Thanks, Atul. Thanks, Dr. P.K. Khosla, and everyone else here who gave us the opportunity to present Coursera to the students.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we will take the questions. So the first question has been asked by Harsh Gandhi. He's saying universities will have access to more than 3,600 high quality courses. My question is, if we can get these courses with certification, why to have an alternate syllabus?
Priyanka, if you don't mind, I can take that.
Sure.
And then you can add. Sure. Thank you so much for reading the question. So Harsh, here is the thing. Before Coursera, let's go 20, 25 years ago, we had libraries. When I was studying, I certainly had a library. Could I just read all the books and do something? Absolutely. There is no stopping. Do we need an alternate syllabus? Absolutely. Because, when Atul suggested that, Kamal's son was able to throw a googly, he had to practice. So, you can learn something new on Coursera, but you will always need a testing ground, and your university is your first place of testing ground. Your faculty, your teachers will be your bounce boards. You can go bounce ideas, discuss with them, and learn and build on the skills which you have already learned on Coursera. So think of this as a situation that you checked out a book from library, read it, you learned something new. Now you want to see that how it is applied and learn from someone's experience. And that's when you go to college. That's why your teachers, and I am a teacher, so I know that I keep telling my students, "Padh ke aaya karo," but that's exactly what it means. If you can do Coursera, go to your professors, your learning gets enhanced. So that's my, quick and short answer. Priyanka, back to you if you have to add something.
Thanks, Saurabh. I think I just want to add one more thing to this, that the kind of guidance you can get from your teachers and your university, I think that is the most valuable thing that you would like, that will help you going forward in your career, because it's very hard as a student. Like I know back when I was a student 15, 18 years back, like when I was in college, I was kind of lost. If it was only on me to figure things out, I didn't know what I want to do after I did economics honors, and I didn't know what I want to do after that. I think some of my teachers really helped me. They introduced me to McKinsey. They introduced me to different roles that are available. I don't think I would have any other mentor in my life who would have done that for me. My parents were both doctors. They wouldn't they couldn't guide me in economics, right? So I think from that perspective, a university has a lot of value. You have your peers from whom you learn. You have your teachers from whom you learn. What Coursera is providing is an aid, right? We can integrate with your curriculum. We can bridge the gaps which are currently not there, but we can't remove the importance of faculties and colleges right now.
Absolutely. And there is another question, Shalja, you might have noticed on very similar lines. So Priyanka, absolutely, what you said, just building on that, do we need degrees, traditional degrees? Absolutely, you will still need, don't get me wrong on that. That Coursera's mission is not to, do away with the degree program. There is a merit to the education system. That's why it has been around for many years and will continue to be there. Obviously, we are evolving as an education system. And obviously, if you are looking for public sector jobs, you will need that. But the goal of Coursera is education for everyone, which means that if the example we saw, somebody was not able to take a formal education for whatever reasons, that's one. But in your case, where Coursera helps, which Priyanka certainly pointed out, is there are skills, which are ever changing, and there are newer skills, there are newer things which are coming. So this is one place for you to come and learn about those things. Secondly, when you graduate out of Shoolini University, you will continue to learn. So that's where Coursera can help you continue to learn that, from a lifelong learning ecosystem perspective, you need to, and trust me, even though online learning, has become famous from a student community now, but the last 15 odd years of my career, I have only done online learning at my corporate places also. So online learning is going to be with you. It's good that, you started learning now rather than later, because while you are still on campus. Priyanka, back to you, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. And now the second question has been asked by Divyanshi. How to handle distraction and time management during online courses? Are the programs challenging and rigorous enough?
Awesome. It's an amazing question. Thanks for asking that. So I think we are in a world where there are a lot of distractions, right? We have Netflix, we have Prime, we have whatnot. Like today, if we have 2 hours, we would rather go and watch a new series on Netflix rather than doing learning, right? So I think that's the kind of world we are living in, and a lot of us find it hard. So I would like to honestly say that initially it might be hard for some of us, especially who are new to Coursera. We need to make a rhythm. So every habit needs time to build upon, right? So we need to create a rhythm. My suggestion is, while Coursera courses are already designed in such a way that there are bites, they're like 5-minute video, 7-minute video, and then you can learn in small bites and build that up. But still, like, I would suggest that you block some time on your calendar. You block 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there on your calendar every day, and you keep learning every day and build upon it. And then trust me, after 20 days, it'll be so natural to you. It'll just come to you. Like, you wouldn't think like the way you use, block time for your watching television or your classes. You will block that time for Coursera, and every day you will be blocking those 30 minutes and you will be learning on Coursera. So that's my suggestion. I would invite maybe Shoolini team also to give some tips for their students and other Coursera colleagues as well.
Yeah, so just wanted to add a little bit to that. The fact that you mentioned bite-sized learning, I think that is the trick. And Coursera, like you said, is designed in that way. And what happens is that once you are, like Priyanka said, once you get used to the Coursera platform and used to this bite-sized learning format, it kind of grows on you, becomes addictive, and you are like excited about going on to the next one. So there has been times when, a 4-week course, I have browsed through it quickly because I'm so excited about what is coming next. I browsed through it quickly and completed it in a week sometimes. So it's just a matter of getting excited about or used to the platform. And the trick is the bite-size learning format. And we also have to attune our timetable to that, So I have been involved in corporate learning, for example, for a long time. And what I suggest to people when I teach the corporate, when they are asked questions about how do we learn in our busy schedules, we say that, there are recommendations that you walk away from your screen, take physical breaks from your screen, get up from your seat. So I also suggest take learning breaks. So while you do your curriculum, schedule some learning breaks from your regular curriculum, go to Coursera, explore something, be on a course and complete it in those times. So every day, just put aside some time to do something extra on Coursera. Of course, there'll be courses which will be recommended to you in the form of curriculum, which you'll have to do because they'll be graded and will be a part of your assessments. But what you do in your own time and by choice can be done in this way. Learning breaks is a great idea, I think, according to me. Works for me. You can give it a try as well.
Ashu, I find it extremely difficult many times to sit. I have, I get distracted very, very quickly. So my trick really is to park myself, to lock myself either in a library or in my own room. So some people are very good, they can be in a very busy place, put on the earphones and still work. I can't. So I have to say that, okay, for the next 45 minutes, this is what I'll do and I will not get distracted. So we all have different ways to learn. We all have different ways to do things which are not, part of play, let's put it this way, because partying comes so naturally to all of us. And anything that we have to do where we have to push ourselves a little bit, we'll have different ways to figure that out. Learning is, of course, not partying. It can be fun, but it's definitely not partying. So it does take a little bit of effort. So I will always encourage all the students to say that, okay, we will, you can mark, let's say, 2 hours or 3 hours a week, which is Coursera time on your calendar. Coursera time outside what is part of a curriculum, and say that, okay, 9 to 10 in the morning, every Monday, I will do this particular course, which I'm interested in, data analytics or whatever that is. It could be music. Why data analytics? I think I'm going to challenge Priyanka and others from Coursera a little bit more, Saurabh, especially you. My belief is a little different. I believe, yes, technical courses are important, but what's more important is actually becoming a better human being. So all your hobbies that you wanted to do, whether it's cooking or music or learning to play the guitar or how to paint or whatever it is, I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of very interesting courses there. For example, I didn't finish it, Ashu, but I did a course on Hinduism from Harvard. And that was an edX, not on Coursera, but I'm sure Coursera has a similar course. So you don't have to, only do courses which are related to, work and jobs. I can assure you, students, that if you're a better human being, if you have an overall knowledge of what's happening around you, you will get a way better job than, just understanding and knowing a particular skill. And to me, that's really where the value of things like Coursera comes in, where rather than read a book, you can now listen to a great professor teaching you or making you learn that particular course, right? I mean, for example, my wife Avni took a course on beer making. I don't know why. She doesn't drink beer, but she was really fond of understanding how do you make beer. And it could be just anything in the world. How do you make an electric car? I'm sure that's there. It might not be there on Coursera, but how do you make a nuclear bomb? I'm sure on YouTube there'll be something. You can make a nuclear bomb. Don't do that. I think the intelligence agencies might start following you if you start doing those courses. But point I wanted to make is there is no end to learning. You can learn anything you want if you have the choice. So that's my first learning, which is put some time dedicated. I think the second learning I have is it's almost like running a marathon. Many of you would have tried to run a marathon. So what happens if you've ever been in a marathon or seen anyone running a marathon, they run the first 100 to 100 meters very fast. They say, wow, this is great. First 100 meters they run. And there's a Shoolini marathon also, and many of you might have participated. थोड़े ग्राउंड से निकलते हैं और कई लोग तो वो थोड़े ग्राउंड से निकलते निकलते थक जाते हैं, वहीं बैठ जाते हैं. तो थोड़े से और होते हैं वो शांति तक बैठ जाते हैं, or probably degree college, they'll be sort of fuss. And the guys who know how to run will run right up to the university. So it's also about consistency.
But their vice chancellor completes to make the 14-kilometer journey, maybe in more hours. But
it could be longer. Absolutely. I think that's what Dr. Khosla is saying. He finished the marathon and he's been doing that every year. So consistency of running or walking. So find your own pace. And that's the beauty of, Coursera, that you don't have to, if someone does it in 2 weeks, possibly you will take 6 weeks, or you can take 1 week. So you do it at your pace, at your level. And to me, I think finding those tricks are important. I was speaking to a friend, Priyanka, and this is relevant to Dr. Khosla. Dr. Khosla, you're 80 and you're running and, you're fit. And that was the debate that was happening at CII, where people were saying the world is changing because organizations are making people retire at age of 60. So at the age of 60, people retire. But unfortunately or fortunately, most people are very healthy at the age of 60. But the unfortunate part is they don't know how to work at the age of 60 because the skill requirements have changed. So there's a friend of mine who's trying to set up a university for people who are 60 and beyond. So you go to college and learn new skills. And now you guys don't have to go to college for that because you have Coursera and you've got Shoolini helping you on that. So I think the point I wanted to make is a phenomenal platform. Learn at your own pace. Don't rush it. There'll be guidance from the university, from Kuldeep and his team on courses that you should do. But date Coursera, flirt around with Coursera. It's a beautiful girl, it's a beautiful guy. Just understand all the beautiful things that are there, and then figure out which course you want to marry, and do that diligently. And it's really, really going to help you in your career, not just in a career, but also becoming a better human being. So that's a few thoughts from me. Dr. Khosla, sorry, you were there. You wanted to leave some last thoughts. Have you done your course? By the way, you were supposed to do a course on biology. Did you do that course on Coursera? We can't hear you. You're muted. Dr. Khosla, you're muted. I think.
Okay, sorry. Oh, I will definitely join. I'm interested. Incredibly fun to.
So I give you a challenge, and this challenge is coming from every MBA student and every member of the Faculty of Management Sciences. So in the next 20 days, you have to finish that course on biology. that Karun has sent to you.
Okay, fine.
Accept that
I
challenge?
accept the challenge. I will do it. I will do it.
Students, are you ready to accept one challenge that you should do one course of your choice, anything that you want from Coursera in the next 20 days? So let's see who wins, Dr. Khosla or the students. So are you ready to take the challenge? Can I hear a yes or no from the students? Can I see some yeses? Students, you want to say? Rohit is saying a yes. Shubhangi says yes. Wow, so lots of yeses coming in. Fantastic. So we take the challenge. I'll also pick it up, Dr. Costa. I'll do one course.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Fantastic. Okay, good. Over to you. Back to you, Ashu, Priyanka.
I just have to say this is brilliant. The kind of excitement I see and the kind of number of yeses I'm seeing, I'm already excited about this.
And that challenge goes to you also, Priyanka, by the way.
Of course.
And Karun, you also. And everyone else from Saurabh.
I actually thought of doing one course. I'm a new mom, so I'm thinking of doing a course which is called Art of Parenting. And I've just enrolled into that course, and I do want to make sure that so 20 days, right? You said 20 days.
20 days, right?
Okay, accepted.
So Poonam is there. Let's create a Facebook thing. वो साड़ी वाड़ी होता है. I wore a sari, and then everyone is putting that on Facebook and Insta. So let's do that, Ashu. I've joined Coursera and I did a course. Let's do that. Let's start that wave. Okay, students. So whenever you enroll to a course, put it on Facebook, and I would love to see that. And
create a hashtag, yeah.
And all completers, they can take a picture with their certificate and post it on the page.
Fantastic. So Poonam has already done. Poonam, it's applying to you also. You also have to do a course, okay?
Hasiba, do we have any more questions that we want to take?
We are over with the questions now.
No, I have to first make a small joke on Poonam. So Poonam just wrote off course and she got the spelling wrong. So she's so influenced by Coursera that even in course, she's made it course. Right, Poonam? Anyway, go ahead, Hasiba.
So they're saying we're done with the questions. Any more questions?
When we can ask a last question.
Sure.
Can Coursera take some of remarkable researches of Shoolini to design a module on research?
Now, obviously, Atul has already spoken about it, and that's in the pipeline. Not immediately necessarily, but you will tune it. Just tune it.
I think that's in fact, one of the things that we aspire to do is to see the Shoolini logo along with the other top universities of the world in creating content. And I think that's a challenge that Dr. Verma, Kuldeep, and other faculty members who are here should pick up. It's a learning process for us, but there's no reason why, if we can be number one in India in research, there's no reason why we can't be number one in learning. So that's, I think, a challenge that we all need to pick up as teachers. And I'm sure Kuldeep, Narendra Verma, and others, Poonam, will pick up the challenge.
So
we'll give ourselves 1 year, but we are more ambitious, Saurabh. So we'll come back to you in 6 months.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. So over to the compeers to end the session. Last thoughts, Ashu?
No, I think we are good and we're raring to go. We are planning some sessions for our faculty. We'll have a formal session for our students to take them through the details of what is expected when they have their sprint and when the new semester starts. So informally, of course, the students are free to reach out to any of us. But we would say your invitations are going to come immediately after this webinar. Dr. Kamal is working on them. So start exploring. We have already curated some recommended courses for our MBA students. Look at them, but that is not the limit. You can go and explore any course on Coursera beginning today. So over to you, Hasiba.
I think the presentation was quite clear for every participant's question. So thanks for Shilja for addressing participants' question. Would now request Kamal sir to give the vote of to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Hasiba. and Shailja also for comparing the session so beautifully. So first of all, let me thank Professor P.K. Khosla, Honorable Chancellor, for blessing us all with this presence and inaugurating this exciting partnership. Thank you very much, sir, for gracing this occasion. Let me also take this opportunity to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Atul Khosla for being the visionary that he is. And it's only because of his vision and his belief in technology-based education that that has resulted into this partnership. And we are very, very excited about this, right? Also, when it comes to passion, I've never seen anyone as passionate as Dr. Ashu Khosla when it comes to the when we talk about online education. She's so passionate about it, and she's probably the reason that Shoolini has progressed so much into the field of online education. Thank you for everything, Ashu ma'am, and specifically for sowing the seeds of online education in the Shoolini University way back in 2013. And I'm fortunate enough to be one of the founding uh, people to have started this journey with you. Thank you very much. No words can justify the amount of hard work or smart work that has been done by the great and very, very professional team of Coursera. Karun initially to get the ball rolling, and just like being very, very instrumental in affecting this partnership. Then Priyanka to take the lead further and going ahead with the process so beautifully and leading it from the front. And also not to mention, not to forget the great presentation made by you and Saurabh today. Also Saurabh has been doing all the hard work, or that is one work that I would not like to do, right? And with the support of Professor Verma and able support of Dr. Rose. So all the curation and all the mapping of the courses, right? And when I see the big uh, Excel files, it gives me a headache, but I do not know how you manage it, right? And so Professor Verma, Professor Rose, Saurabh, thank you very much. Ever so smiling Saurabh, I would say. So he's always smiling, and in spite of all those big Excel files, okay. And Akanksha, Sachinji, and Vibhuti, Ram, Manish, for all the technical work that you have been doing behind the scenes. It's phenomenal. So I've learned that you've succeeded in succeeded to give us a single sign-on, right? So students would not need to go to a Coursera platform. They can access it through EUNEP. So of course it is in like process, and it would be clear in like a week or so, but they've succeeded. Hats off to your efforts. Thank you, Hasiba and Shailja also for comparing the session very, very beautifully. Thank you, Shashwat and Weber for giving such beautiful testimonials. And when I first came to Shoolini, I saw a quote, and it said that the secret to learning, it's a quote from Bhagavad Gita. It said the secret to learning is to learn from top experts. And it's so true. But the catch is like where to find those top experts and where do we find them? So now we know where to find them, right? And Coursera has been phenomenal. Coursera's contribution has been phenomenal when it comes to taking the top experts to every nook and corner of the world. So thank you, Coursera, for doing all this. And I look forward. I'm very, very excited about this partnership. I have worked with edX, I have worked with Coursera, I have worked with Swayam, I have worked with quite a few MOOC providers. I can definitely say that working with Coursera was like they are the best and they are the most professional team I've worked with. So I look forward to a great partnership, and I'm very, very excited about it. And we'll do everything that it takes to make this program successful. And very happy learning to all the students. It's a great opportunity. Make full use of it. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for
before you close, Kamal, there's a question by Karan that there are so many courses, we get confused which course to take. So I'd just like to answer Karan that Kamal, Ashu, and the team will get back to you with a suggested list of courses that we think are relevant. But you can take any course. So we will definitely guide you in the process. You can also reach out to your fellow teachers. You can reach out to your fellow friends. And I'm sure if you go on YouTube or other Google, there must be some recommended courses even over there.
So Atul, we have already curated a list of courses for our MBA students. When they go to the page after they receive their invitation on email, they'll be able to see these lists. So I think if you are confused about where to start, I think that's a very good place to start. Start exploring those courses first. And slowly and gradually, I'm sure you'll find your way through Coursera. And of course, you can reach out to your teachers, to anyone in our team to guide you. The Coursera team is here with us as well, and we'll always seek their help in guiding our students. So this transition period till your full semester starts on 1st February is the time where, like Atul said, flirt with Coursera, find your way around Coursera. This is the time where we say explore, find your passion. 1st February onwards, we'll be there to formally introduce some courses into your curriculum and also guide you with some other courses as well. So reach out and also look at the page.
So immediately after the meeting, we shall be rolling out the invitations to all of you who have filled the form. So we have circulated the Coursera information form on the various formal channels. So all the students who have filled in the form, so you'll receive the invitation immediately after that. And as soon as you configure your account, you'll land exactly as Ashu ma'am also told. We have configured. Saurabh and Professor Verma, Dr. Rose have been they've been working very diligently towards finalizing a few recommended courses to you. So that's where the starting point would be. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I think it's been a wonderful meeting. Thank you, students. You're the ones who make us proud. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teachers, speakers, and all the participants. And thanks, Hasiba, my wonderful co-host for this webinar. We wish you all a wonderful learning experience through this great partnership. Have a great day ahead. Thank you for joining.